Hey guys, I hope that this video finds y'all doing well. I am here today with a tutorial and it is going to be my eyebrow tutorial. So I know there's a few of you out there who are probably pretty excited to see this. I have been going back and forth, if you guys aren't new to my channel or my Instagram account, I've been going back and forth between different ways and like techniques of doing my eyebrows, and the reason for that is mainly, actually there's probably two main reasons for it. The first one is I am super OCD about my eyebrows. Like, it takes me forever to do my eyebrows and it's a pain in the butt, and it's not like hard, but it's hard to do them. So I know it may not seem like it, but yeah, they drive me crazy. So, and then number two kind of ties in with number one of the OCD, but I can never get them to look the same. So, like, as far as the length of this one and the length of this one, it's completely different. They're two different shapes, and that really drives me crazy. I try to make them look more or less the same, but you know, maybe again it's just something that I notice more because I am OCD about them. So and then also, like, as far as this one goes, like with just the brow hair that's in there and whatever, I don't really have to shape it. It goes where I want it to, like, so easily. So it's almost effortless to do this eyebrow. Now this one, on the other hand, is just a completely different story. The first method that I'm going to show you guys was on this eyebrow, and on that one I used the eyebrow tint pen from Milani, so it looks just like a felt tip eyeliner pen. And then on this side I'm going to show you guys how I do my brows with the brow powder and then just like a brow wax. So I think I might be leaning a little bit more towards doing the eyebrow marker because it seems to be a little bit easier and a little bit faster, but I don't know. So hopefully you guys find this video helpful and maybe pick up a couple of tips and tricks. But if you guys want to see how I do my eyebrows, then just keep on watching. Alright guys, so I'm going to be doing two different kind of brow tutorials. As you can see, I don't have my brows on right now and it looks really weird. I don't know how I went so long without having eyebrows. I wish someone would have told me earlier on in life to do my eyebrows, but I'm gonna go ahead and just show you like the faster way I do my eyebrows. Lately I've been using this Milani brow tint pen and I'm actually really happy with it because I thought brow pen, it's gonna be disastrous, you know, just brow pen to me screams drawn on markered eyebrows. But it actually is really sheer, like when you apply it, and it'll of course dry and then you can build over it. Now I really like this because it allows me to get in and fill in like that bald spot, fill in you know, the scar and everything, and then like the bald spots that I have here. Just my eyebrows, they lay really weird, and I've tried like trimming them so they're not, you know, so sparse in one area and they're kind of like spread out. But so I'm going to use this eyebrow pen. Like I said, this one's the Milani brow tint and this is in dark brown. And what I do with this one is I basically will just go through first like I do normally, and I'll trace out like more or less the shape that I want. With this product I do not use the Brow Fix, the eyebrow wax, so I'm just gonna go through, like I said, and kind of map out the shape that I want. I do not have symmetrical features, so the eyebrow that, you know, ends up on this side looks great for this eye and how it's shaped, and then vice versa, but together they don't work. Now I've only been using this marker I think a few days now, and so I'm not quite sure as to like how waterproof or whatever it is. It's basically one of those, like, it'll come off with soap and water, but I mean it's lasted pretty good for me the times that I do wear it. Now what I'll actually use too, and this kind of messes with your foundation sometimes, but I find it really easy to do. If you make any mistakes, or like even with this eyebrow marker you can do it, if you make any mistakes, I just take one of these like spoolie mascara brushes. You can buy them in the pack from Sally's. I think that's where I got mine. And I just kind of like brush over wherever I made a mistake. So if you saw when I put the arch way too weird or way too high, so I just kind of rounded it out. You'll see me do that a lot with these, but it's really helpful. This really, again, is going to be different for every person. Not everyone likes to have the same sort of eyebrow shape, but you know, you definitely want to do some research on, you know, eyebrow shape for your face, for your eye shape. With me, I like just, I guess, kind of a plain, it'll go like straighter there and then do just a regular arch and then right at the tip. So nothing, you know, fancy. Now, as far as the inside, a lot of people will do like a really light brow, like within this part, and then it goes darker as you go out to the tail. Sometimes I'll do that if it works out. If it doesn't, you know, it's not that big of a deal to me. But I usually will do like my whole entire eyebrow, just like a single color. Too will make the very like underline of their eyebrow a lot darker also, just so it gives it, I guess, more of that contrast. Also is mix the eyebrow marker and then like an actual brow powder to fill in those, excuse me, blank spots. But like I said, this side I'm just going to show you as far as the marker goes. And then just going through every once in a while and brushing through with the mascara spoolie. Now, one thing that I definitely want to reiterate, as far as eyebrows go, they look very different, especially if you've got like sparse patches. They look very different in different lighting. So a lot of the time when I do my makeup, either here with the windows in front of me or in the bedroom when I've got a window like on the side of me, I will still go, or I'll still wait till I get in the car if I'm going somewhere to see what the lighting looks like outside, because it'll actually be a lot different and I'll find that I missed a lot of spots. So for the lighting that I have now, for the sake of this video, I think I'm pretty good on this one. So now I can see what's going on. So yeah, that is the eyebrow using the eyebrow pen. So I will be right back and I will show you this other eyebrow. So now you can really see it looks crazy without eyebrows. Oh, okay. All right, so we're back with my other eyebrow. Now, sorry, if you guys, again, are not new to my Instagram, to any of my other channels, I highly recommend Anastasia Beverly Hills products. I have not tried their dip brow yet. I have not tried their Brow Wiz pencil. You guys might have saw, I tried out Sephora's version of it, which was pretty much just as good, but it was used up really fast, so I kind of just decided to stick with the eyebrow powders. Now I do use the brow powder duo. I can't show it to you because it has cracked into a bazillion pieces. It is no longer two different colors, it's just one mixed together color. Of course, there's other duo, powders out there. Elf has one, NYX has one. I do not recommend using their wax though, because it is very shiny and it will not dry. It will not set to a matte finish. It continues to be shiny. So you can even try and set it with the powder and it still is shiny. So that's kind of weird. I also love using the Brow Fix wax from Anastasia Beverly Hills. Now, just the pencil alone, I think it sells for like $21, which for me is just, that's ridiculous. So I went and found NYX's version of it, and this is just their eyebrow shaper. It's only like $8, but I haven't used it enough to say that I really like it and that I could, use this one instead of this one. So I will try to start using this more often and let you guys know. And then clear brow gel is good to have if you feel like you need it, if you have a little bit, more full brow than I do and you need to keep some of those hairs in place. So the other thing that I use again was just the regular spoolie and then a really small angled brow brush. So I have one from Real Techniques, this one here, but I find that I don't have as much control and precision with the bigger brush than I do the really small one. So I actually prefer the small one over the other one. Alright guys, so I am back to do my other eyebrow and I have a different color lipstick on because I ate lunch. The other one wore off and yeah. I think this one makes me look less dead or less like sickly. Kind of weird because I know a lot of the time like the brow shapers are for like training your brows. It's just like training a part in your hair. You have to force it to stay that way. So the wax helps your hairs to lay the way you want them. But I actually use it to do my actual eyebrows. And what I'll do is I'm just going to go over my eyebrows with a really good layer of the eyebrow wax. And it does feel really weird like when you first start doing it this way because it basically like, it's kind of plastering your eyebrows down to your face. But the reason why I do this is because, like I said, it helps those hairs go where you want them to. But I find it also helps to spread the product and kind of make it liquidy, if you will. And it helps to spread a little bit easier. So after I do that, like I said, a good coat, I'll go through and lightly brush up some of the hairs so that they're basically just laying where I want them to. And of course that saves me a little bit on having to fill in certain spots. Okay, so now that I have it where I want, I will go in with my small little angled brush here and dip into the brow powder. I think I'm going to try and use this NYX brow powder just because it would be a little bit easier because it's not in a bazillion pieces like my Anastasia one. And usually I'll go and mix the two colors anyway. Like I said, if you like to have more of that gradient effect where it's lighter here and then it gets darker, you can start with that lighter color in that inner part and then start tapering off to the darker part. Like I said, I usually just do one color. I'll probably mix them so they're not too dark but not too light. So basically I do this other eyebrow, or when I'm using powders and the wax, I do it the same way. I'll just go more or less and fill like the outline and the shape I want, figure out where I want to do the arch, and then just go in and fill it. mentioned it in my brush cleaning video, but we were gonna have like this winter storm. And of course in my area it is just cloudy and kind of rainy. It's not even raining anymore, but I still don't want to go out there just because people are crazy and they don't know how to drive and they get all freaked out. So, and if you hear like random noises, it's my dog. With the waxes, it does kind of gunk up your brush a little bit, so sometimes I'll take like a paper towel, this is just a dry wet wipe, and wipe it on there, because it will make the brush weird, so just a heads up. Mention what you might have heard that was my dog. She's gonna go away, but anyway, sorry. What I'm also doing when I do the brush strokes is using a light hand, so I'm not really pressing down hard or anything, just using really light feathery motions. But yeah, I don't know, I've gotten lucky as far as my brows go, and a lot of practice too. Like when I first started doing my brows, they did not look all that great. It took a lot of time just kind of figuring out how products work, you know, what exactly they're going to do when you apply them, that sort of thing. Mention also is like if you're doing a brow pencil or even a brow marker, is figuring out the right color. I think they say brow should be like 1 to 2 shades lighter than your normal hair color. Some people I know will just do like a regular dark brow if they're like a dark brown, or you know, if you've got red hair, you'll just leave it close to the red, maybe a touch darker. I usually just keep them dark like you see them now, only because it's easier. Every once in a while, I'll mix red in to my eyebrows, and the way I do that is I use this really deep matte red color, kind of cranberry red color from Makeup Geek. And after I'm done doing like all of this with the regular brow powder, I'll go in with the red and just kind of blend it in so it has that reddish tint. Otherwise, I usually just keep my eyebrows the same color. I don't know. It's up to you, I guess. So that is about it for that one. So like I said, this one is a little bit lighter. You can see that it did start out a little bit lighter here, and it does go a little bit darker throughout. A lot of it too is because I've got a thicker patch of hair right here, so that one tends to be a lot darker. And then of course you can go in too with the eyebrow marker and darken that up. The shape of your eyebrow definitely is going to depend on like your face shape, your eye shape. And what I mean by that is not only the arch, but how you want, like this part of your eyebrow to be like. I know a lot of people will have like just the bigger kind of bushier end here and then it tapers down. Some people do like more of a rounded eyebrow shape. I do, like I said, like a straight down and almost boxed off end. So again, just kind of play around with the shape, what you think suits you best, suits your eyes, and go from there. So that one I think is pretty much good to go. And then again on this side, just like the other one, I will go through and brush through, blend it all together, kind of soften the brush strokes so it looks more natural, and then fill in any bald spots or sparse spots that I see. I think that also is definitely one of the keys to having like more of a natural looking brow, is brushing through with your product. Because you are doing like brush strokes, it does look like hair, but it can also look like really harsh, so it doesn't blend together. So again, with a little spoolie, it really helps to blend that product together and not be so harsh, helps it to be a little bit more natural looking. And then if your brows are a little bit harder to tame, you can use clear brow gel and just go through and brush them the way you want them and just kind of help seal it. Now, like I said with the brow wax, most of the time I won't have to do this because that brow wax is still in my brows, and it helps keep everything in place. So let me put my glasses on so I can see what we've got. So yeah, the brow marker, like I said, at times it's going to give you a little bit more of a defined look as opposed to this side. Like I said, with the brow powder, it does give it a little bit more maybe of a natural look, a lighter look. Again, I could have gone lighter handed on that one and not made it so dark, but yeah, I can see that weird bald spot there. That always drives me crazy. Like I said, it depends on how you want to have your eyebrows look. Sometimes I like doing the, really lighter, more natural look, and then other times I do a really defined look. There you have it. I think actually this time they more or less, they look more similar than they usually do. I don't know. This one on the right side, yeah. So this is my issue with my eyebrows. Like I said, they're not symmetrical. This definitely has a lot to do with, again, mapping out, the shape you want, and then just kind of, again, how you groom them. This eye tends to go, it has this really nice angle, and then it just naturally falls down to the arch over here. This one is so much shorter, and I can never, I always try to extend it farther out and then start my arch, and it just doesn't work out. So, like I said, it's one of those things where you really have to just play around with it, try different products, figure out how you're going to shape your eyebrows, even when it comes to tweezing them, so you have the right shape that you want, and then, just filling it in, whether you like to do it with a pen or, you use a wax and then just regular powders. That's really the best advice that I could give you guys as far as eyebrows, is just to really practice and try different things, try different techniques, and you know, figure out what works for you. So I hope that this video wasn't too long, too boring, and it was helpful for you guys. It's just a lot of, you know, people have, you know, said you need to do an eyebrow tutorial, and I love your eyebrows, so I thought I would give it a shot aside from the little short pictorial I did. But if you guys have any questions on any of the products or anything that I mentioned, you know, any of the steps or anything, just leave me a comment below, and I will be glad to answer any questions. And as usual, if you guys like this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, and please subscribe to my channel. That would be awesome. And yeah, so I guess that's it. Thanks guys for watching, and I'll catch you next time.